everyone. Welcome to the Pip Pin Podcast. My name is Megan Nodecker, and I'm a knitwear designer from Abbotsford, British Columbia in Canada. You can find me on Instagram as Pip Pin, on Ravelry as Knit Pip Pin, and in the Ravelry group Pip Pin. First thing today I wanted to talk about was the knit along that I've been hosting on Instagram, and it's the Pip Pin knit along. I've talked about it a lot already, so I'm not really going to go into too much detail today, but if you want to participate or want more information, you can head on over to the Ravelry group, and all the information is up on there. Basically, post a photo of your Pip Pin project, finished or not, and use the hashtag PipPinKAL18. And once a month, I will be drawing a winner from those posts, and then at the end of the year there's going to be a big grand prize. But I did the drawing, and we have a winner for March. So the winner was Jesslyn, who is JE Knits SD on Instagram, and with this post here. And so congratulations. I sent her a skein of 6 and 7 fiber, which I also have shown lots, and it was the Luna Shoes colorway. The really amazing prize that was generously donated from 6 and 7 fiber. And so this is a knit along. It's going to be going all year, so make sure to just keep using that hashtag, and every post is an entry. If you are a maker of some sort and want to donate a prize, that would be amazing. I am always open to that, whether it be for this knit along or just a giveaway in general. Contact me and we can chat. I was thinking about something the other day. I was watching Coffee and Craft, who is Bernadette, and she is another knitting podcaster from around the Vancouver, BC area. And usually I watch podcasts kind of in the morning, like when we're kind of eating breakfast, or like that's usually when I have my most amount of like downtime, kind of. Either George is still sleeping or she's eating her breakfast, or, it's kind of just Mom's chill out, relax time. And I found that I don't always have a ton of time. And I don't know, the other day I noticed that I was, because I subscribe to I watch a lot of knitting podcasts, and all of the ones I was looking through my subscriptions to like see what one I wanted to put on, and they were all kind of in the hour range. Some of them were an hour and a half, 2 hours long. And I was realizing that that's quite a lot of time to invest in watching something. So I feel like, if you haven't noticed, usually I've been doing every 2 weeks, and it's only been a week in between podcasts this time. So I think what I'm going to try and do is have more frequent podcasts and shorter. Because I found when I was watching Bernadette, I think one of them was, I watched 2 of them. So, don't get me wrong, I still spent an hour watching a podcast, but for some reason I just saw that, her most recent one was, I think, 20 minutes long or something, and then I watched another one and it was maybe 35, like under 40 minutes. And I like that a lot. I feel like it was a lot less intimidating. So I'm going to try that out. It might not always work. I feel like it might be hard to kind of keep it under that time, maybe. We'll see how it goes. But I think I'm going to try to keep it 45 minutes and under. Because I've just been feeling like committing to an hour long episode for me is hard. When I don't really have a designated, I don't have a lot of time to sit and watch them. So having shorter is better, I think. It felt a lot better to me anyways. So tell me, you know, you can always let me know what you think about that. I've just found myself like stopping halfway through some of the ones that I've been watching, and then I never really get back to them. So anyways, I might stop doing stash enhancement as well, because for when I don't usually have a lot, anyways, and that's kind of when I stop watching other people's too. So I don't know. I'll share with you like if I get yarn, I will share it with you as I use it, of course. But I think I'm going to cut that because, I don't know, it's just not something that I feel is super important to me. So, so yeah, let me know if you have any thoughts on that, if you like that idea, if you think shorter is better, or if you like the long format. You know, you can always let me know that as well. Watch, this one's going to be like an hour and a half. No, it's probably not going to be that long. Anyways, I have a couple of finished objects to talk about, and one of them I am wearing. This is my Portage cardigan, and Portage is a pattern by Melissa. I've tried to pronounce her last name many times, and I never feel like I do it right, so I'm just going to put her name and the pattern below, and I'll link to it down there as well. Really great pattern. I started this back in probably October of last year, just after Knit City, and I finally finished it. So that's very exciting. I feel like that's a long time for me to be working on something, but personal projects have a way of getting put onto the back burner a lot when you are a knitwear designer. So work knitting kind of trumps personal knitting. But I literally have not taken this off. I've worn it every single day since I finished it. And I finished it on Saturday, so on March 30th. And then on Sunday and Monday, we went to my in-laws for Easter, and I didn't block it or anything. I wove in all my ends on Sunday morning, and then I wore it for 2 days, and then I blocked it on Monday, and yeah, I've been wearing it ever since. A couple of things. The yarn is Poppy Yarn and Fiber. They're a sport base, which I can't remember what it's called, but they're sport yarn. And this is the Scholar colorway. And I feel like I was really worried about it, that it would be like too green or too army or something, but I really love how it worked up, and I feel like it's going to be a really easy neutral to like put into my wardrobe, but it's not super boring. So I think it's a nice mesh of things there. It's not super bright and crazy so that I won't wear it, but it's also not gray. Like nothing bad to say about a gray sweater, but I just wanted something a little different, and I think this fit the bill well. I did modify it a little bit. My gauge was totally off because I think the pattern itself called for DK weight yarn, and I've of course I'd used sport, so I had the idea in my head that I wanted it to be drapier and just drapier, and so I kind of matched my gauge to that, and I think I did something weird with sizes. I don't even really know what I did. I know I just kind of made up the sleeves, and yeah, I couldn't tell you all the things that I did to this pattern. One thing though, I feel like they're both the same, but I feel like one sleeve is longer than the other, and one of the cuffs is longer. Maybe I didn't switch needle sizes or something. I don't know. I mean, it's fine, and I think I'm just gonna wear it as is, and to see if it evens out. It doesn't bug me too much, so I'm sure it'll be okay. Another thing on the back. Well, let me stand up and show you a couple of the features of this sweater because it's pretty amazing. So that didn't work, so I'm just going to show you the old-fashioned way. One of the great features and the reason why I needed this sweater in my life was these pockets. I'm not even going to be able to do it this way. These pockets. And now it's kind of hard to tell. Maybe I'll put some of the photos that I took in. But the pockets are kind of a part of the collar, and then they swoop around and like are built in. Really, really great design. So that was the big feature. That's what made me want to knit the pattern. I didn't even realize that there was texture and stuff on the back. But there is a whole textured section back here and a little bit of cables underneath the arm there. And it's kind of hard to tell because I'm a little backlit here, but I did the entire back wrong. It's supposed to be like this beautiful little like honeycomb cable thinger. And I didn't realize until as I was working it, I knew something didn't look quite right, but I figured it was maybe just because my gauge was so different, so it wouldn't be as like squishy. But no, I was just doing something completely wrong, but at least it was consistently wrong. So I figured out, like, I think I was doing one of the twisted stitches wrong, or like one of the cables wrong. And I didn't really realize it until the very end. And I wasn't about to rip back the whole sweater for that. So I just continued on doing what I was doing, and it just makes it unique. The other thing is I feel like I felt like I was playing a bit of yarn chicken because I switched so many things around. I just wasn't sure about yardage, so I had 5 skeins or 6 skeins. Did I have 5 or 6? I don't remember. But I felt like I was gonna run out. So how the sweater is constructed, you kind of do the body and then you do the collar and the pockets all in one. And it's supposed to be a really wide collar. Like, I think the collar is supposed to be about double what I have. But I didn't want to run out of yarn on the sleeves because I really wanted the full long sleeves. And I didn't want to run out at the pockets and then have to like blah, blah, blah. So anyways, my fix was to take some depth out of the collar to make sure that I would have enough yarn for the sleeves and the pockets. I ended up with quite a bit left over. So I do have, probably if I put it all together, maybe 100 grams or so left. So what I was thinking, I'm gonna pop it back on because it's cozy. What I was thinking is I'm not going to undo the pockets and like make the collar bigger or anything like that. But what I was going to do is maybe either take out this bind off or just pick up stitches along the collar and make a shawl collar somehow. I mean, it's fine for right now. I don't know when I will actually get around to it, but I feel like this just, I like it folded, but it's not quite enough to fold. So I might just, I think I might just make it a shawl collar. Use some short rows and make at least the top part a bit thicker, a bit wider, so that I can fold it over and feel like it's a real collar. So yeah, that's my Portage. Really great pattern, really great yarn. Lots of modifications that I don't even know what I did. I took some really great notes in the beginning and then I just stopped, as one kind of does. But I couldn't recommend this pattern enough. It's great. There's a reason why hundreds and hundreds of people have made it, because it's amazing. The next finished object that I have, I don't actually have it with me because it was a gift, and it was a gift to my new nephew. So Katie had her baby and she had a little boy, and he doesn't have a name and he's so cute and little. So I made him a little hat. And I made this hat, I based it off of the Prism hat by Tin Can Knits from the Mad Color book. And I obviously didn't do any of the color work or anything, but I used that for all the numbers for it. And instead of using DK yarn, I just held two strands of fingering together. So I used one of, what was it? Plucky Knitter Primo fingering, and then one of Knit Pick Stroll tweed. And so I just held those double throughout and made a teeny tiny little hat. So that was given to him on Saturday. Yeah, he was born on Friday. When was he born? Thursday? No, he was born on Thursday night at like 12:30. So I guess early Friday morning. And they didn't have time to go to the hospital. But everything went great. Everything was wonderful. So he's healthy and happy, and Katie's great. And they actually drove out on Saturday for Easter dinner. So everyone got to meet him on Saturday. And yeah, we got to have a little baby snuggle, and he was so cute. I guess I just have some whips to share, and I have 2 new works in progresses. Whips. Yeah, they're both back here. I'll do this one first. This one is a sock that I started. And here is, I have it in, just in one of these bags that I made, one of my little sock bags. I still have lots of them, and I keep meaning to list them on Etsy, but I just can't seem to find the time. If you want one, message me. I don't know. We'll chat. Anyway, so I started a sock. And here is the cuff. And this is knit with 6 and 7 fiber and her Milo base, and this is the blush colorway, which is this beautiful, like muted pale pink, and it's kind of the best color in my life right now. I want a whole sweater made out of this. So yeah, this is the cuff of one of them. And I finished an entire sock. Yeah. On my way to my in-laws' house on Sunday, I was winding this mini skein of yarn and cast on this sock and finished it last night. So it took me 5 days. It should be on a blocker. There we go. That's more like it. So I have a finished sock. So that took me 4 days. Yeah, is that right? Yeah, because Sunday was the 1st. Yeah, and I finished weaving in all my ends in this. Started this in the car. Finished it last night and start cast on the other one. Yeah, so 4 days, 1 sock. Like, that is amazing for me. I don't think I've ever done that before. This is what happens when I don't have any design projects to work on. I make things for me. So yeah, this is the 6 and 7 fiber in blush for the heels and the toes and the cuffs. And this tweedy stuff here is Knit Pick Stroll tweed in the Jackrabbit Heather, Jackrabbit Heather colorway. So this is the Blueberry Waffle socks by Sandy Turner, and I just modified it to use fingering weight yarn instead of, I think it calls for sport. So I cast on 64 stitches. And then just, did the blueberry waffle pattern. And a heel flap and gusset, which is something that I have not done in a really long time. I just did plain stockinette for the heel flap. And I think I kind of made up this part. I read a little bit on I don't even remember what tutorial I was reading, but I was reading somewhere how to turn a heel and just kind of made it up. But I think I'm going to start doing heel flap and gusset more often, because this sock fits me really nicely. I have, I guess it's high arches or something, but when I do afterthought heels and stuff, I find that it really pulls right across here, and this one doesn't. So I think, yeah, I like the look of them too. They're cute. So I might, and 4 days, like 4 days. Who does this? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Obviously it's not blocked or anything yet, but yeah. Oh, also, while I was watching the Coffee and Craft podcast, Bernadette is starting a sock sprint knit along, and basically she challenged herself to see how many pairs of socks she could knit the month of April, and like just so happens that I started these on April 1st, and I don't know, I think that I could easily finish the other one, the second one, before the end of April. So, yeah, I think that's pretty cool. The other new work in progress that I have is I talked about a shawl that I was going to knit for myself, and I started it. And it took me a while to decide what I was going to make. I thank you for all of these suggestions that you all gave me. I really appreciate those, and I didn't take any of them. I had seen a couple other people make this shawl before, and I remember really liking it, so I decided to give it a go. And what I'm doing is this guy here. Ooh. Of course it's pointy at the bottom. There will be a tassel there to hold that down. There we go. This is the April Fool shawl by Melissa Stadja. And basically it's a big square shawl with some tassels. So you do half of it increasing with this eyelets, and then the second half just in the single color, and then the second half, when you start doing the decreases, you stripe it, and I think it's just stockinette. Maybe I should have read the pattern a little better. I don't know. Haven't gotten that far yet. But I like it because it's simple, and I feel like I'll be able to, since it's square, like how I would wear it is fold it into a triangle and then kind of wear it like a triangle wrap, or like a blanket. I don't know. I just feel like it's going to be very versatile. Also that I can have like the stripes or the plain or kind of half and half, which is how she's worn it in the pattern photos and how a lot of people seem to be wearing it. And yeah, so that's the one I decided. I'm really enjoying it so far. I know I've just done the really fun, easy first part, but it's very enjoyable. It's TV knitting. I think it'll be great for like knit nights and things like that, because I don't really have to pay attention to anything. It's, you increase every second row. You do these cool little like double yarn over things to make the big holes every 8th row or so, or yeah, something like that. And then like that's pretty much it. And you just use your whole ball of yarn basically. She says to do it a certain amount of times, or to use up 100-gram skein of yarn, and this is 115, but I might just use up the whole thing. Now this is Sweet Fiber. This is her Sweet Sock in the ochre colorway, and this is something that I picked up a week or two ago from 88 Stitches, and I got it to go with one of these guys, and this is again 6 and 7 fiber Milo. This is I'll Teach the Lot and Hogwarts a History, And my original plan, I don't know what my original plan was. I had an idea earlier about trying to do something kind of fadey like that, but it didn't work. I don't know. I feel like for me personally, I like a fade that like fades seamlessly, and this, because of solids, like because the ochre is a solid color, just didn't do it what I wanted it to do. So I scrapped that pretty early on. And now I'm going to just use one of these. And so now it's become, which one do I use? So I can either, I'll put a picture of the finished shawl here so that you guys can help me decide. So for the stripes, do I do the ochre and the Hogwarts of History? And that, I think, will keep it very similar tone, kind of, and keep it a little bit muted. Or do I'll Teach the Lot, which I think will brighten it up quite a bit. And I don't know if you can see exactly, but in both of the two colorways, there is pretty much an exact, there are bits of ochre. Yeah, you can't really see it in the yellow, but it's there. But there are bits of pretty much this exact color in here. So really it's, do I want a cooler, like more muted color palette, or do I use the yellow to kind of brighten it up a bit? I want your opinions, but I'm also going to tell you mine. I think that this combination I like better. I don't know. I feel like I like this better, but I feel like it's very safe. I feel like I already have a lot of these colors kind of in my wardrobe, and I feel like the whole reason I wanted to start this shawl was to add something that I didn't have. So that's why originally I'd gotten this yellow, was to, like, I really like golds and like mustard yellows and things like that. And so I originally got this to like add a little bit of pop into something. So like this one, make it a little bit brighter, a little bit happier for summertime, because all I wear is black and gray and now green, I guess. Pretty much. Yeah. I think that's not it. What is it? That's it for knitting. My two finished things, a new baby, and a couple new works in progress. There was one other thing that I forgot to mention at the beginning, and it was my 30th birthday on 2 days ago, on Tuesday. So I'm now in my 30s, and I just want to say a really big thank you to everyone that wished me a happy birthday on Instagram and on Ravelry, and it made me feel very loved, and I just feel like 30 is going to be pretty awesome. And I'm just excited to be out of my 20s and starting something new. Not really. Not in real life, but it feels like, 30 just feels like something else. And I've been told some really good things about being 30. So I just want to say thanks to everyone who thought of me and who took the time to say happy birthday. I really appreciated it. Other than that, there's still the Pip Pin knit along going on Instagram, Pip Pin KAL18. I will have that burned into my brain because I'm going to keep saying it. I had a lot of, I think we had the most entries this month out of the 3 months that we've had it running. So that's, it's really exciting for me to see it keep growing. So Yeah, thanks for that too. Thanks all over the place. Thank you for watching. If you're new, thanks for stopping by, watching to the end. And if you are returning, well, thanks for coming back. And make sure that you hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button down below. Hopefully I'll be trying to do this every week now, I think, depending on I don't think I'll do it every week if I don't have enough to talk about, but I don't want to have too much to talk about. I want to keep them short and sweet. Yeah. That's it for today. So thanks again so much for everything. You guys are awesome.